I don't know what it is about Jean-Claude Van Damme, but every time you hear that, and you guys know what I'm talking about, he's like, yeah. Like his, I wonder if he always does that, like when he's reaching, like if he's straining for, I think a cornflake, he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, yeah.
He always does that every time he works out, though. I don't want to watch him work out, because he'd just be like doing this, like, yeah. Yeah.
He probably does. He's lifting him dumbbells like, yeah.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie.
When at the most inopportune times he does the splits, it makes no sense when he does it. And you know he's telling the director, they're like, because I know that's not in the fucking script when it describes it. He was like, I can do the splits. When I punch this guy, I want to do the splits, and then in the nuts. And he's like, oh, John, you don't have to do that because you just got to beat him up. So, no, I can do splits, American or Chinese splits.
This is the most epic splits, too.
Yeah,
because he does it in his underwear at home.
No, not that scene. I'm talking about the scene when he was in 1930s and he does the splits.
Oh,
and he didn't have to do that. He was already beating his ass, and the guy was like wobbling, and he was like, I'm going to do the splits now. And he does the splits just to hit him in the nuts.
He didn't have to do it in his house either.
Yeah.
Like the guy's getting ready to shoot which is just a fucking taser.
Yeah.
It's like 50,000 volts.
Motherfucker.
It's just a taser. But instead of just jumping on the counter, he's like, I will do the splits. And I tried to do that. I wanted to recreate it.
You know, actually, that probably would save your life, though. Dude, why do you have you had the prison pose? Not quite that, princess. I knew it was bad before you... Yeah, do the coconut. Do the coconut, you nut ping. Oh. Look, Wendy, I can fly. Because of my big legs, I can do the splits, no problem.
I remember him in Friends, he was like, Courtney Cox or somebody was breaking up with him. He's like, but I can crunch a walnut with my butt cheeks. Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, where we watch the movie. We're reviewing Timecop, and this is the start of Time Travel Week. Random ass time travel movies. We're not going to do Back to the Future because we're saving that to do the whole trilogy. We're not
So Timecop, yes, starring the Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's Jean-Claude Van Damme's most like serious movie almost in a way. It's like he plays it really cool, calm, and smart. There's no but there's
a few
there's a couple.
There's gotta be a couple
Yeah, but it's not the Kumite. It's not anything crazy, and it's a sci-fi movie, so it's kind of weird to watch him be in this role. And it was like you said, it was towards like the end of his career right before he started kind of like doing.
Yeah, this is the mid-90s.
Movies.
This is when he fizzled out. Like right after this time is when he really started going to like double team with fucking Rodman and shit. That's when you know you're fucked.
Didn't you say that there was almost sequels?
Yeah, actually, that's crazy. Like, Jean-Claude Van Damme had this whole thing set up with the studio that produced this movie that it was going to be a trilogy set, but he was coked out on a boat somewhere. They called him, they're like, we want you to do it. He's like, I will do it for $50 million or less. And they're like, well, fuck you, John. And then he's like, okay, then fuck it.
Yeah. Didn't you? I heard a story somewhere like a long time ago that like.
If you haven't seen this movie, actually give it a chance, because I know if you saw the cover of it, you can't see it now because the movie's playing. But if you saw the cover of this movie, you might be like, yeah, what the? It's time slop. I don't give a shit. It's actually not a bad movie. He's only done, I think, a few science fiction movies. He did Universal Soldier, Cyborg, and this is actually one of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's the most sci-fi.
Yeah, time travel is invented by this scientist or whatever. So these guys go to Washington to get funding for it because they're saying that they need somebody to protect the time stream, because if you go back in time and you change something, it causes ripple effects, like which could catastrophically change and fuck up the future. Jean-Claude Van Damme is selected as one of the elites to be a part of this squad, and his basic job is a cop that patrols time to protect you from time travelers. I felt like this movie when I watched it, it's a pretty good movie. It's a solid movie. The only thing is, you could tell that there was stuff in it that they didn't include, but I think they wanted to at some point. Maybe they cut some stuff out because of time or budget or whatever, because they never really...
Time.
That's a little pun inside. It just seems like they could have had more involved. Like, you know, like how did they choose these agents? It doesn't look like a big agency. I mean, I'm sure there was a psych profile, like, you know, they measured you based on would you do some crazy shit if you went back in time, if you had the chance to do it or to fix things.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't really explain, they didn't really go into detail a lot about how they selected. And I mean, at the very beginning, the guy, like his boss, they say, this is Captain whatever from the Washington precinct. You picked a cop to be like the main guy. Wouldn't you pick like a U.S. military guy? Yeah. Like, I don't know, it just seemed weird. But overall, this movie is like really, I mean, to me, Jean-Claude Van Damme does actually a really good job acting in it.
It's so laid back for him. Yeah. There's no like over the top Jean-Claude Van Damme-isms. Like he plays it like straightforward, like action star. And there is a couple corny like 80s/90s moments in it, like when he meets the girl in the first part of it, and he's like, "I'm your boyfriend," and he's like, "Do we make love?" And then like, immediately it goes to this awkward fucking sex scene. And of course, like in all the 80s/90s action movies, There's the star, Steven Seagal, Sylvester Stallone, Mark Wahlberg, but they go over the top with it. He's like licking her face. He's like way fucking too into it.
But that was the whole thing though. I mean, it had the corny music, it had the corny action sequences in it.
And
but
she's got to show her nips.
Oh god,
she does.
It's got to be done.
Chick from Ferris Bueller's Day Off shows her nips.
She does. And that's weird because I guess she had just fallen on hard times. She was like, I just got to show my titties.
She looks like that weird girl you date in 6th grade.
I was still,
you know, like, you look kind of weird, but you're not ugly.
Yeah, I like that when he walked up behind her and he was like, there's never enough time to satisfy a woman. But anyway, you know, it has all that corny dialogue and that corny music and stuff, and the cinematography and the action sequence, like I said, really just, it's a chiseling top chainsaw. But it's all that, but it's just done so well. This is really a popcorn action fun movie to watch. It's really, I mean, the time travel part of it.
But it's laid back too.
It is laid back. The only problem is there are some plot holes. There's some major time travel plot holes in this. I mean, that's with any time travel movie, but some of these are so big, like you could put fucking Tom Cruise at Oprah's egos in it, it still wouldn't fill it up. And Rosie O'Donnell on fucking top of it, and be like, that's one big giant hole and I can't fill it.
You put Rosie O'Donnell's fat ass in it.
That's what I just said.
No, if I'm being honest, even though we're doing time travel week, I'm not a big time travel guy because there's just so many intricacies to it. I'm like, I don't know where it's, but you know, but for Jean-Claude Van Damme, for this movie, I like it because it's like it's his most like straightforward performance. He doesn't go too over the top. He plays it right down the middle, and sometimes the movie can get a little bit boring. It can get really boring at some points. But there's nothing over the top. Like the fight scenes are like legit fight scenes, except for the coin term when the guy's trying to fight. He's like, I fought Joey in 23, and then he's like,
I once went 12 rounds with Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, and then Van Damme beats the shit out of me. He's like, I saw Tyson beat Spinks on TV.
But that was like, that's so 90s.
It's
like
perfect.
It was perfect 90s.
And then he beats the guy with the Michelangelo sticks.
Yeah. Michelangelo had sticks.
Donatello, man.
Donatello did.
Michelangelo had
nunchucks.
Yeah,
I always call them nunchucks and nunchucks.
They were kind of nunchucky. By the way, every time you see a set of nunchucks, do you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I've never been able to do it. I've tried. I always feel like that kid in Sidekicks when he tries to do it. I'll hit it my side of the ear. I'm like, ow! Like overall, let's get. I'm sorry. We get so off topic. I'm sorry. But the overall movie and scope is pretty badass for what it was in the 90s, and it's actually just a really, really fun, solid movie from Jean-Claude Van Damme. And like I said, this is not the pinnacle Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's like right at the edge of his career.
Not cheesy very much. It's not corny very much, and he just kind of plays it straightforward. He does a good job in it. So this is that one nugget of his career that you have. It's just like you're a normal like actor for a second.
Yeah, you know that Jean-Claude Van Damme means business when you see him on the cover of this movie and the movies before this one, Nowhere to Run and shit like that, where he's got like a...
That's another one, just like...
And Hard Target, when he's got a fucking perm mullet. He means business.
He looks good, he looks healthy.
It's like those old wrestling shows, like when they come out, they're all clean cut, like early in his career, he was clean cut, he's like, I'm gonna hit you splits, and then all of a sudden he's got a perm, he's like, I don't want to fight you.
It should have had 2 more action scenes, though. 2 more, I think 2 more Jean-Claude Van Damme beating up 5 people at the same time action scenes, and this movie would have been way more entertaining. It's kind of boring for me. It's a 7.0. I enjoyed it because he plays it so straightforward. It's like, I can take you seriously for a second, and I love Jean-Claude Van Damme so much that I enjoy being able to do that. But the movie around it's a little bit boring, and there's a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5 for exactly the same reason. I mean, plot holes are out there. I mean, out the asshole. But I really love Jean-Claude Van Damme. I liked him in this movie. I like the time travel stuff. I like the whole, like, idea of a cop policing time. I think it really had trilogy potential. I think they really could have built something off the foundation of what this movie was if Jean-Claude Van Damme had been snorting that cocaine. I know it's good, but you got to lay off of it a little bit. And definitely, if you've never seen this movie and you kind of like passed on Netflix or Amazon On Demand or wherever, just at wherever, and you're like, I don't know, it's actually not a bad flick to check out.
It's a departure for Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that makes it worth watching alone. And the bad guy,
Ron Silver, he's badass.
He's good in it. So and like even with all the bad effects and stuff like that, it's really not that corny of a movie. It's one of his least corny movies, even with the time attraction.
And that's the thing. Time travels. It was crazy because the executive producer on this was Sam Raimi.
That's so weird.
I know.
Who's your favorite action star of like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, all of them? And what is your favorite performance by them? Like not so much, but like Timecop. Like what's your favorite? Like what do you think is the most straightforward? Like I can almost see that you could be a legitimate actor, not just a crazy action star movie. What is that movie for you guys?
That's a really deep question.
I know it's so much.
I was just gonna say, who's your favorite action star of the 80s, 90s?
That will work too.
I was gonna say, who's yours?
My favorite action star of the 90s, it would be totally fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it used to be Steven Seagal, but he turned into such a dick.
That's why I like Steven Seagal, though. Mine would be Steven Seagal. It's really hard with Jean-Claude. I love Van Damme, but it's Seagal because Seagal's such an arrogant asshole. Like, he's like, I don't want to fight you, but I'm going to fuck you up.
He thinks he's his character's real life.
But that's why he's fun.
I want to chill some deer penis.
I would never, dude, if I saw Steven Seagal pumping gas next to me, I would never talk to him.
You'd be afraid.
Because he'd be like, I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. Van Damme has a future right now.
I would love to like just have him sitting here and doing a review of this. Dude's funny. He's funny. I'd love to have that. But,
I think Van Damme has a future more than Seagal does right now. Because he appeared in Expendables 2.
Oh yeah, Seagal's fat as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, Seagal's fat, but it's not just that he's fat. It's just because, you know, Van Damme is willing to branch out and try different things and work with other people and actually build bridges.
And he's got some weird movies coming out. He's got like an alien invasion movie coming out, and he's got like a comedy movie where he leads this group of business people through the jungle.
But that's the thing, Seagal won't do that. He won't do any comedy. He won't do anything. He has to stay at like, he has to do like, you know, like Native American
Which is fine, but lose some fucking weight, dude. But anyways.
I guess he doesn't have to move. It's like, I'll just beat your ass with my hands.
I'm Mike EJ. We'll see you guys next time when we watch the movie. By the way, subscribe, click like, do all that shit. It helps us a lot. And don't forget, like us on Facebook. We put random vids on there that you won't see here. Like us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at We Watched the Movie. We'll put the links below.
Where are we going?
It's really easy. You just click on that shit and then you go with it. And comment below with any questions you want to ask for us. You can ask us what our farts smell like. Someone actually already did ask us that. Someone did ask us that already. Ask us any question you want below. In a couple weeks,
Peaches and schnapps.
We're going to answer with a video response review. We'll answer you. We'll give you a shout out. Answer just the weirdest fucking question you can think of. Anything you want.
Well, I don't want them to do that.
I'm Mike EJ. I like ponies.
We watched a movie.